I don't think we have any adjustments, so let's give a little bit of introductions for those that don't know each other.
So did you want to start, Kat? Some introductions,
Yeah.
and I'm very sorry. Last month we knew you were on the road, but figured we'd better get started with a meeting. So
Yeah, that's okay. And it just worked out that I was in a different time zone. Normally I can connect in at this time. So I am Kat Allen. Fun fact, am Haley Perro's next door neighbor. We're like sitcom best friends, so that's super cute. But I am just super passionate about Barre and the fact that people should have things to do. So on my own, I proposed to Pearl Street that we start a trivia night. So now I run trivia at Pearl Street twice a month. And it has been really wonderful to see the community come out. And then I have another project that I'll be talking to this group about whenever I understand how we propose things. I'm not really sure how things go on an agenda, but I'm super excited to be here, and I am really excited to see what fun things we can bring to Barre.
Thank you and welcome.
and Haley was here last month, but Kat, and we'll introduce Addie. Haley, do you want to give just a little bit about yourself? Do you know Addie? Had you met Addie?
I don't think I do. Hi, Addie and everyone. I'm Haley Perro. I live in Barre City. As Kat said, right next to Kat, kind of behind the meltdown. I've lived in Barre City about 2 years, and I've just been trying to find a way to get involved, and just love how many different things and communities within the city recreation and parks touches. So yeah, excited to work with you all. And I hope to be on camera soon, having some tech issues.
Okay, well, I keep putting you guys on speaker and the lights keep going out because I have a toddler playing with the light and she likes to talk when I'm trying to talk, so I keep putting on mute. I'm Linda, and I've been on the rec board for quite a long time. Just a minute, Paige. And I'm really excited to see new people with new ideas. That is really exciting. And Stephanie does an awesome job with the summer programs and the skating and keeping things moving. And I'm really excited to see a new group of people to support her and see where we can go with these.
Thanks. Looks like she's off for a second. I'll let her run the meeting, but looks like she's tied up with a toddler. Just quickly, so that we don't hold Addie up a while. Holiday vacation activities went really well. We had open gym basketball. We had like 60 to 80 kids each time. That went really well. It was fantastic. Bernie Allen, we're really grateful to him. He supervises, and that is key. To have someone there, and he's also now taking some extra Sundays that the Mutual Club is sponsoring. We had some stick and puck that was successful, a little more in the beginning of the week as opposed to the end, but that's still okay. Public skating, we had some really good numbers. When there's no snow, obviously, you're not cross-country skiing, you're not snowshoeing, all the fun things that you would do. And so that was beneficial to us at the rink. So that was popular. I did the Cliff reading program where the storyteller came in, told a story, and then the youngsters could select 2 free books to take home. And I worked with Ian at the Aldrich Library. My original storyteller from Cliff, all of a sudden, COVID came down with COVID. So Ian, I'll call Ian. And he came up and did a fantastic job. And that is what I like, is partnering with other departments. So, Ian and I, so the Aldrich Library and the rec, you work together, and that's, kind of how you do things. And it was just a very successful week. I'm now merging into today's, I worked a lot on trying to get the odd floor set up for pickleball. Be doing like 3 courts, and just got to get them lined out, and I have the nets, and they'll be in the daytime in the beginning, but that'll be coming up soon. And
Nice.
so just to give you a brief on that, and I did meet with Addie to learn about what she has, which is actually going to be pretty cool, and
Yeah.
up in our park too. So things that anything that happens up in our parks and gets people outdoors, that's kind of what we're all about. So if you have questions, I put a lot of, I don't know if anybody's on Facebook or you're not, but Barre City Recreation, I tried to keep on making flyers and just pushing all our activities to let people know what was happening.
So Stephanie, the Barre City now also has an Instagram.
Okay.
Nicholas manages it, and I would highly recommend that the same content that's put on Facebook gets put on Instagram.
And we can do that. You would need to learn that, but it's not difficult. So when I meet with Nicholas tomorrow, but yeah, everybody, Instagram is it. So
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'll say at least for my generation, especially those of us without kids. So yeah.
Don't worry, my daughter tells me that too. All right. Thanks. And if you ever have questions, just call, email. Good. Anyway. We're ready to go into Addie.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I'll start with just an introduction of myself and what I do at Vermont River Conservancy. So I'm an AmeriCorps member there, and my role is community engagement coordinator. So I basically do all of the social media and create events and other things like that to get people engaged with our sites as well as just rivers in general in Vermont. So what we do is we put conservation easements on land and protect public access at river sites throughout the state. Our website has a pretty good map of our different conservation lands and public access areas. So that's the main thing that we do at VRC. And with that, we need to get people involved in just understanding rivers more. And that was just really made clear over the summer with the flooding. So over the summer, we did help with the Barre City River Access Task Force to host a volunteer cleanup day at the Rotary Park Trail and get it back ready for people to walk on it down to the waterfall there. And so we kind of started our collaboration with them over the summer with that. And I was made aware of this grant, which is how we got the funds to do this upcoming event at Rotary Park. It's through AARP Vermont, and it's basically the goal of the grant is to get communities out and together doing things. It can be indoors or outdoors over the winter. And so we got $4,000 from them to host an event. And I proposed to do it in Barre because I know that there's not very much public access to the rivers there. And it's important that we kind of highlight that. And I just think that the Barre community could use some more focus on the outdoors, and just there are beautiful spots in Barre. And I've heard from people on the River Access Task Force that it's hard to get people outside. And so I figured it would be a good spot to do it. Did I freeze?
Just a little bit, but everything that you said came through loud and clear, Addie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll kind of talk more about the event too. So it'll be on February 17th. It's a Saturday. And we decided to do it 12 to 3. I was thinking it would be 11 to 3, but I think having it either before or after lunch would just help with people like getting there and being there for the majority of the event. And so we'll kind of have some stuff done beforehand, collected bottle caps and like cut out the arch, which I'm trying to get someone to help me come up with the like actual dimensions of the arch and what that should look like, because it'll just kind of, the arch will be placed so that you can see that it is a trail over behind the pavilions there. And it'll kind of tie in with the Friends of the Winooski and the River Access Task Force are working on a grant to make the trail accessible down to the river. And so it'll kind of help to make it more obvious that it's there and highlight the use of those grant funds. And the bottle caps will be placed so that it'll look like a river scene on the top of the arch. And I don't think I sent you guys, if you've ever been to Red Hen Bakery, there's a trail down to the Winooski there, and their arches are kind of my my inspiration for what this arch will look like, but with artwork on the top.
Like there at Camp Mead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of the inspiration for it. And I got in contact with, I forget what her last name is. Maybe it's Melody Harvey. Let me look. She's an artist in Barre. Yeah, Melody Harvey. And she's done like window paintings and stuff in different murals for local businesses. And I offered her a stipend to draw out the design and help with that. So we also have an artist involved. And that's pretty much the synopsis so far.
That's so great. So will you, for the group, and you've been emailing me and I've been so busy. I'm so sorry. So I'm glad that you were able to really touch base with Stephanie, but what can we do to help? What are our next steps for the committee to be involved?
Yeah, so I think any like help making the event more visible to the community will be really helpful. Like I'll be able to send it to Stephanie and Nicholas to maybe put on the social media platforms for the city. The River Access Task Force has put it on their social media, and the Rainbow Bridge Community Center shared their posts. So I'm hoping we'll get some more signups for the event, because right now I don't have any. And I would just like to have that so that we have more of an idea of who will be there. I think if you guys know anyone who would want to volunteer too, on our website, I kind of laid out some of the roles I can see us needing for that. And I also sent you guys my kind of proposed layout of what the event will look like. So any feedback on that, and if I can just have like the go ahead to book like porta potties and know if we can have like fire pits out there and things like that, probably more on Stephanie's end than committee's end, but that would be helpful. Yeah, I think any help you guys are willing to give or any feedback is really helpful and exciting to have you involved.
So Addie, I'd love to get the high school kids involved right off. If you had like a list of potential, ways they could get involved, they have to do volunteer work in order to graduate. And the ones so far that I've used have just been wonderful and like an asset to help us. Ever since you and I met, every time I open up a bottle of something with a cap, that's all I think about is these caps, and I don't want to put it away. And I think I told Addie, I said, I'm so sorry, like with Kat, it's just been so busy between holidays, and then that potential flood kind of sent us, in a tizzy. And I thought by now I would have had like some boxes at the rink and other places to start collecting these caps. But if I could get the high school kids involved, and just if I have some like what they could do, I can send it. I have a contact there, because if you get them involved would be just phenomenal.
Yeah, and I can send you guys a list of those opportunities. And I think another thing that would be helpful would be if you are willing to talk to businesses that you frequent about maybe them coming out and setting up a table with food and refreshments, or collecting bottle caps, or even just posting a flyer on their cork board. I think any of that kind of help would be really helpful, especially from people that are active in the community and to people at those businesses know better than I would be helpful with that.
Where are you at with your bottle cap count? Like, are we still needing lots of bottle caps?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I've been trying to get in contact with the Central Vermont Solid Waste Management District because I know I could probably just go there and get a bunch. I need to just call them one afternoon and kind of see if I could do that. And that would be another volunteer opportunity for high school kids to like sort and clean the caps. And when I talked to Melody, she also mentioned the possibility of painting some of them so we have a better variety of colors. And so that would be a big volunteer opportunity that could be many days ahead of time, kind of make it easier for people to help out.
I'm trying to think, like the downtown, Stephanie, I think we should definitely contact the Corey, Gusto's, and Tally, since they're like the local bars, to see if they would just stop throwing away their bottle caps when they like pop open a beer or something.
Right.
Mulligan's is another good one where we could probably get bottle caps.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Mulligan's.
Okay. The ice rink on like, and in the when they have basketball.
Maybe school as well. And Addie, I was curious, like, what would be a successful number of people? And is there like a world where like you have a core group of people helping out, but then there's also some sort of like social element after, even if you're not like hands-on actively helping? And would this be anyone, or could like people bring their kids, obviously stay with their kids, but would this be open to pretty much any age?
Yeah, so the goal of it is to be all ages, since it is AARP. They kind of have like a focus on older people, but I really want to get people with kids involved, and it would be more social, I think. And people that are helping out could pitch in like an hour or so and still like be able to enjoy some of the other things. So
Stephanie or Linda, do either of you have a contact on the Palatiers?
I used to, but Sue, Sue, she's not with Palatiers, but she's but
I have like a soft spot in my heart since seeing the Palatiers at Heritage Fest, and one of them was very old. She told me they're literally dying off. So I would love to like advertise them as a group to the community to help them get some fresh faces in that club. But if we're going to be painting bottle caps, I mean, even that 90-year-old lady on the Palatiers could help paint a bottle cap, you know?
Sure.
So I think if we can figure out a way to engage them, I do not know that they have social media. And I tried to send an email one time and the email address was not good.
Well, I have to tell you, in putting something on Front Porch Forum, more and more and more people are utilizing that for information.
Yeah, and that's also a good idea to have one of you post it on Front Porch Forum. Since I am in Montpelier, I can't post it directly to the Barre forum. So that would be helpful. I'm also thinking about doing one of their ads where it's one of the middle postings. I'm not sure how effective the ads are. I'm guessing they're pretty effective because I've had pretty good volunteer engagement luck with Front Porch Forum. So I think
the thing with the ads is that you see them more than once, right? Like if we post, then it's gonna come up like that day in someone's feed, but then we need to like repost every day, which we can. We are dedicated, Addie.
One other thought, if you talk to Chittenden Solid Waste, I have a feeling they don't do this anymore because I've been with other groups that have tried, but they used to also offer a kit So you could have a zero waste event. So you don't have an event about keeping the rivers clean and then use, styrofoam or even paper cups, but they can like lend you mugs if you're going to have hot chocolate and kind of reusable kit. And even if they don't, I feel like I know someone with a lot of coffee mugs. I'll just leave it at that.
That's me. I ended up with 200 cups and saucers from the old labor hall as part of flood cleanup.
Wow.
That are sitting in my attic. So I can provide cups and saucers for this event.
I wonder who's gonna wash them after.
Yeah, that's what I
Your
was
fri-
gonna say.
Your friend
Well,
who recommended
my
you?
husband washed all 200 of these after the flood in our dishwasher. So he's
Oh.
used to cycling through lots of them if we need to.
Or that's right near the elementary and middle school. Put in their industrial dishwasher
Oh,
app.
exactly.
But
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
exactly.
That is a good point, though, to do something like that.
Yeah.
And even up in the park, we have carry in, carry out, and that is
Mhm.
sometimes challenging. And even on, like the playground, I really have mixed feelings about whether or not there's trash barrels there. I equally see both sides of it all. But where we can support that and promote it in an event like this, I think we should.
Yeah,
But-
we could even add to our postings about it, like bring your own plates or cups if you want to have refreshments and do it that way. Maybe it would be helpful too.
But you can count on our support. If you can get us some lists of, just be a little more specific how we can help. And
Okay.
the more we can tie the community in, like the high school kids, like the Palatiers, like maybe some elementary school.
Yeah.
There is a Barre Senior Center, so we could.
Yeah, I have been emailing with them, so they've been busy too, so I'm just waiting on a time to
Yeah,
meet.
tough time of year, man.
Yeah, I know.
But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen
Yeah.
and it's gonna be wonderful.
I don't know if it'd be your thing, but in my day job, I go to senior center sometimes, and I just will invite myself very nicely if they have a senior lunch. I think
Mhm.
maybe like the small one in the Washington Street Apartments. But like I think face-to-face communication for older Vermonters is sometimes helpful.
Yeah.
But
And I
but
was
also
talking,
trusted if I was
Yeah.
just gonna say if their senior center director is helping you spread the word, that's someone they'll
yeah,
know
so
and
I was
trust.
emailing with her, and I think it's like the communications director or someone about setting up a time where I could come in and do a presentation, because they like to do those kinds of things, and it would just kind of help spread the word to them. So
Addie, I'm sorry if I missed this, but did you send us the square block for like a socials post?
I didn't yet, but I can.
Yeah, if you'll do that, and then that way we can make sure that it's consistently on our feeds and then going through like our personal networks too.
Mhm.
And then that'll just be the easiest way for Nicholas to share on the Barre City. Also, have you done a socials takeover? Like, would you take over the Barre City feed for the day?
That might be a good idea.
Right? To like
always, like,
document like
do
all the
it.
stuff that's going on.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
So
I
Stephanie,
like
can you propose that to Nicholas tomorrow if for this event, the Vermont Rivers Conservancy could take over the Barre City feed for the day so that we get like tons of posting and lots of content from the event?
And we could do it on both of our social media to kind of like the setup and, oh, here's all of
Yeah.
our volunteers, that kind of
Which is
stuff.
honestly
Yes.
beneficial for us having a new account too, because then our account gets reach from your account.
Yeah.
So
You'll find that Nicholas is extremely supportive of this.
mhm.
And, I'm sure he'll even be there. And I don't know if you've I know I've walked down there. If you've been down to the end of that trail, it's like beautiful down there.
Yeah.
It's like a treasure that a lot of people don't know is there. And then I think it's the VORAC grant that they're going for to try to make it an accessible trail, and hopefully they'll be successful with that. And, that ties in good with the AARP that, it'll be a trail for everyone.
Yeah.
So,
I
this is
also have
great.
one more question that you guys might be able to help me with. Can you think of any good like entertainers that would like to be out there? Anything from like different kinds of people that do art, like teaching art or storytelling or music or something interactive that people could engage with while they were there? That's
So
based in Barre.
maybe this is kind of weird. But Stephanie, do you know Teddy Wozniak?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so he is part of like this group that loves drama, like actual theater drama. And I wonder if we could get a selection of books from the library where him or some of like the people that he knows can do like some really hammed up type storytelling.
I can check with him. I'll see him tomorrow. And I have tons of books from
Yeah.
my, like the program that I had. But I'll see him tomorrow,
Um,
just get a flavor. I'd
yeah,
like some music too.
yeah, music. I was gonna say, Addie, the local in not Middlebury, Middlesex, they have started doing open mic nights. So
Okay.
even though that's maybe like 15 minutes down the road, they might know someone who would come and play. I don't know a ton of like Barre musicians, but that's like somewhat local musicians. Linda or Haley, do you guys know anyone locally that would do like an open mic night that would know of people that would perform?
I was thinking over at Bent Hill, I mean, they're down in Randolph, but they've had like fiddlers perform.
Yeah.
If something that might appeal to like a pretty broad range of folks. I don't know if those fiddlers were local, or I've seen fiddlers in Montpelier, and could maybe look into some weeds for that. Might be good
Pearl
like back. Oh.
Yeah, Pearl Street had that historic Italian music group that was pretty cool, that also ties into like the heritage of the community. They wanted everyone to like yodel and polka with them, which was kind of weird but fun. But the music was really good. Otherwise, Stephanie, does the high school have like a chorus or like a drama club that they would come and
chorus would be
potentially
good.
do something?
I think they do, and that would be great. And I don't even know, there used to be like a jazz band in Barre Town too with kids, like
Yeah.
elementary school. So the more
Oh,
ways we can tie the kids into it and the parents,
yeah.
If
Or
we
the
have
Barry
connections to
tones.
the schools, it would be better
Yeah.
for you to connect us, I think.
For your AARP like tie, like for an older group, we could also see if the baritones would come out. It's a local, I'm gonna say predominantly older ladies a cappella group.
That's fun.
I don't know how to get a hold of them, but I bet they are on social media.
Yeah. I think I know some people.
Do you know people
Yeah.
that are on them? I hope that wasn't offensive to say it's
And there could be my age.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's still okay. That's okay.
I mean,
so-
I am now qualified to join AARP, so I'm all about a discount.
There you go. So I think you can see, you have our support. If you could send us some emails of like I said, the duties and things, and we will get the word out a little bit more, look for some entertainment, look for just things to supplement, like, outdoors. As it gets closer, let's see if we have snow. If we have a lot of snow, well, then we could do a little, like, you can make a snowman, we can make a fort. I mean, there'll be things, we'll just see where we're at as we get closer, because obviously we never know what we'll have for snow then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great to involve like the chorus or a band or something from the high school, because then you're getting all their parents there too. So
Yeah.
you end up with extra volunteers with hands.
I like that idea a lot. I think that would be perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
And we can make it happen. You know, I'm feeling confident that we can. But the more that's the role of our committee is,
Mhm.
and what we do in the city is, okay, we're, you know, like with myself, I'm just like a one person. We just, you use as many businesses, as many community people, you know, like the high school kids, all the clubs, everybody works together, and that's how we make it all happen. So this is what we're gonna do, you know, with you. That's just the beginning of what will come in the summertime, when
Mhm.
people can actually access that.
Mhm.
And, you know, hopefully, I'm pretty confident they'll probably get the VOREC grant. I mean, I can't say for sure, but, you know, it will be just an asset, you know, down there. So just know you have our support, and, you know, I
Thanks.
met with you. We can still meet again. You know, we'll probably have to meet a couple times actually
Mhm.
between now and then, and we can just go from there.
Yeah, I appreciate all of your help. I'm excited to work with all of you and make this happen because I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I think so too. Thank you for thinking of us,
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
for thinking of Barre City. We love when people think of us fondly.
All right. So we'll look forward to some emails, and
Okay.
thanks for your time tonight. And we'll, you know, plan to touch base, like we'll have some more in-person meetings, you know, or online.
Okay. Sounds
As
great.
and we can all email just to,
Mhm.
if we know of like a band, you know, if we have some ideas, we'll just get it out there,
Yeah.
and see what we can put together between that 12 and 3.
Thank you all.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Have a
Thanks,
nice
Addie.
evening. Bye.
Does anybody have anything else they want to discuss or talk about, or?
I do. Okay. So a couple months ago, I was chatting with Chris at Pearl Street about helping convert Pearl Street Alley into a community art walk. And Pete has already given his permission to use his side of the building. Chris is talking to the new owners of the building on the opposite way. But we've also already cleared it with Janet that we need no special permit as long as we don't try to paint like a pizza on the building. Like it can't be any type of advertising. But because it's personal space and it is community art, there's no special permits that are needed. We have talked with Bob Nelson, and he is willing to give a discount on paint. And so the thought is that we would want the event to be right when it like starts to warm up. So like that cusp that really takes us into warmer weather, the snow is melted, and that different groups would sign up for like 10 by 10 blocks on that wall. And they would essentially get like their own canvas. They would have to present what they wanted to do ahead of time. We want to try to figure out a way, hopefully getting some kind of grant to make it free so that people aren't doing anything. It's 100% community involvement for these different groups. And then potentially paint over it in the fall and have the event twice a year. So we think Chris and I both really love Barre history, and having, being in a town that has a history of like artisans. I think making community art, like what Addie is doing, more prevalent is a really great brand for the city, and something that there isn't a ton of outside of things that a professional would have to do. So like spa is wonderful, but it's really fine art. The granite sculptures are wonderful, but it's not as much something that someone could get like community engagement with. So this would be an opportunity for an annual or twice a year activity that people could come out and put a little bit of their personality into a visible spot in the community. What do you guys think?
I think it sounds great. I think it's, you know, it's something that will still involve the community. And this is like on a canvas, not painted onto the brick, right?
It
Is
is
that what?
painted onto the brick.
Okay. And you can just paint right over that.
That's right.
Okay. So, you know, as long as, you know, it's not permits, you know, we'll go through all our process and.
Well, it
Um,
is permanent until we paint over it, potentially in the fall. But the idea is for it to be a permanent art walk that has like
Okay.
ever-changing art throughout the year, and then, you know, for like decades to come.
Okay.
But like rotating art for the community that's community done.
Great. And I like that you said you submit a proposal first.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we
that
don't
way,
want just any design out there for our community. It's meant to uplift the community, so we want to make sure that the things that people are painting are in support of that vision.
right. All right,
Yeah.
great. Well,
Like,
that's something.
yeah.
I love the art on the wall on Summer Street. And I've always said, I wish that could be someplace where it could be brought or seen by people. But I don't believe that that is on the brick. I believe that is on canvas, correct? Or
Yep.
some kind of other material.
Yeah, so they painted those on individual tiles, and then there is actually a protective coating that is on top of those so that if it is graffitied, it can be scrubbed away. We wouldn't really want to do that with the Pearl Street Alley Walk because it would be really expensive to change it out if it was on the tiles, and because we want it to be something that the community can do often. We would want it to be able so that we could paint over it. And I'm a firm believer that if, you know, when you really show investment in a community and you allow opportunities for the community to be really invested in beautification, things like graffiti, they do die down. I know that we're not graffiti free city, but if we have the paint, you know, if we have the stuff that we use to paint with it, I think touch-ups would be really minimal. I know that that was one of the concerns that someone had proposed about graffiti, but I think if people see that it's something that the community really loves and a lot of people were engaged in, I think they'll show some respect for it being there.
I like the idea. I think I'm not saying it's without work, but I think it's like a good barrier of entry project to take on. And not to get us off this topic too much, but I would love at some point to learn about like what your regular sort of, you know, staple events are and initiatives. And like what the calendar looks like, and then how, like, if we have more ideas, how to fill that in. I just tend to get super busy. So like if I know in advance, and I think even if the community knows like this event happens every year, or they have enough time to look, can be helpful.
Yep.
So at any point you have some idea, I don't care how big or small, you email it to me.
Great.
To see what, you know, I mean, I have very little budget to do something, but that we could do so much without a lot. Again, I work with different people in the community, you know, different businesses. I have a big idea. One thing I want to do at the auditorium, you know, involving like someone like, you know, Cheryl's Jazzercise, the yoga. It's like a taste of Barre. You know, you come up to the auditorium and, oh, yeah, there'll be a little bit of basketball because you got to do that. But there'll be, okay, you can try yoga, you can try karate. The goal is to give a sample of everything, and then you go down and, wow, my son loved that karate. We're going to go down and I'm going to join that business. So that it's our job to just build the interest, build the love, and then support the businesses. And so That's
this-
kind of like an easy thing to do.
Does the city do like 3-on-3 tournaments or like a dunk competition?
Okay, I'm not muted. I think from time to time groups have. The challenge is when there's just myself, it's like, breakfast with
Yeah.
Santa. I'm in there trying to myself get the tables out, get the tablecloths, try to see what family members I can get to round up to come help me.
Yeah.
So with more of a volunteer base,
Mhm.
yes, we could do those things, but I would also like to tie in with, with the Barre Youth Sports Basketball Program.
Right.
They do it because, Cindy Foster, she does such a great job with that group. We just had the big winter solstice basketball, like high school teams.
Mhm.
And Jim invited the Barre Youth Sports Basketball to do the concession. Well, they did well, and that helps their program. So
Yeah.
anything to kick back that way. And just to jump ahead while I'm thinking, we are going to have turf in the BOR, which means indoor soccer, indoor lacrosse. We have batting cages. That's all coming up. I'll be able to next month give a little more information.
Great.
And next month we can talk some more about the kinds of things, Haley, like you were saying. Like one of the biggest things coming up, like the egg hunt comes up the Saturday before Easter. And just, just anything else that's happening and coming up all around. So let me gather some stuff up for next month. And I would love some little ideas, big or little, on my email.
Yep.
So.
I'm going to send you a suggestion that I made to Nicholas for a town crier board in City Hall Park that I think we can engage like an art club or art students at the high school to maintain. That would have like a visible schedule of events in a city park.
Good.
And we can probably build it. Pretty confident about that.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so excited to meet you guys and to like get things going. I've been really excited about this for a while.
Good. I leave up to the chairman.
Yeah.
Chairperson, excuse me. Anything else?
Yep.
No, just trying to unmute myself. I'm glad to hear everybody's just so many great ideas. It's awesome. One of the things too is to think about is like, she was talking about the board in City Hall Park. We have building trades at the high school. Bring in some of those people to help do different projects would be really awesome.
I would love to start a cornhole league at the old labor hall. So getting them involved to building the cornhole boards, that would be really beautiful.
Yeah. There's plenty of resources out there. It's just, reaching out to them and. But yeah, I've heard lots of wonderful things tonight, which is so exciting.
Was there a follow-up that we needed to do for Ginger and her rose garden?
I don't think so. I think she was going to talk to different people and, see what's out there and talk about, space. We came up with a whole list of different places that potentially, maybe we could do it.
Okay.
I forgot the last time, but I'm thinking that it would be great for her to go before the cemetery committee too. Because we have, the St. Monica's, the Elmwood, and Hope. And that comes under, I'm building and community services, that comes under Jeff and I as well. And I think that the committee, especially like at Hope, I liked it was like some memorial, you could purchase like the rose and a memorial, and we're going to be doing the Garfield playground over in the spring. And there's a little garden there, but there's plenty of room for something like that. So yeah. And I think that we probably should invite her back again. It was right like December, and of course it's been holiday time, so get her back in because she had a lot of enthusiasm, and I would like to get her with the cemetery committee too. And that's just one more group.
Well, if we're not gonna do Rose Garden on one of the FEMA lots, I'm also gonna send you specs to potentially add a bocce court. Because it's not a permanent structure, and so it should be able to go on that land. And then it's usable.
Which lot were you thinking of, Kat?
So I live on Hilltop. There's
Okay.
2 FEMA
Oh.
lots on Hilltop, and
Okay.
I think the one with the more flat surface which is on the left, would be a really fun, like, shortened bocce court. And then we could call it Bocce Park, or let the Mutoo Society name it, since it's like part of the Italian heritage.
Okay.
But yeah, so many ideas. Can you guys tell I've been saving up for this meeting?
That's okay. New ideas are always very welcome.
Oh, good. Good.
We need things in the city for people to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I proposed earlier this week that Tally start having a silent book club night. So like a non-pool night, but just a night to go read your book at Tally. And if people want to have an actual book club, great. If you just want to read with people, that's great too. Which they should definitely do, because that's a free thing for them. There's like literally no cost.
And I have still some books if you would like to come in and read, and then I can give some books away. There you go.
Our book club just did a book swap where I tried to give away like 20 of my books.
Well, thank you, everybody. Appreciate the energy.
Yeah, thank you. If nobody else has anything, does somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I motion.
Does somebody want to second it?
I'll second.
Okay.
All right.
Everybody, see you next month.
Okay.
Thank
Don't
you.
hesitate. Call, email, whatever.
You got it.
Just a follow. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.